we are going to go through Game of Sultans. I'm going to give you the full walkthrough and I'm going to give you all my tips and tricks to it, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you're new to this channel, I want to say hi, welcome. My name's Sandy Brady and I am here. I do videos mostly on Merged Dragons and I dabble in a few other games. Now, Game of Sultans is a game I started playing about a year ago, on and off, but recently a lot more on. I do really think that it is doing so well, and it is super interesting, a lot more than it was before, which is how I got back into it. Now, I want to say, hi you guys, welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to go through the Game of Sultans walkthrough. This is everything that I have learned from playing this. I've had this for about a year and I've been playing it on and off continuously for about 2 years. Now I know that this game can be a little bit different to what it usually is. But it's so much fun, especially in the recent couple of years. Now, let me show you what it looks like when you start it up. This is Game of Sultans right here. It's got support and they are pretty good with support. I mean, they do reply pretty much within a couple of hours most of the time, and they're pretty good. So once you press start, you come to the main page. The main page gives you offers. If you don't want to buy anything, you just close them. Usually there are a lot more offers than that one, so you have to close like 3 or 4 things, but it's not too bad. And then on the top left where you see this little guy, this is your character in the game. This is the face that people will see, which is a man's face for me because I'm pretending to play as a male because I changed it. He looked cute and I thought he was like gonna represent me well. You have different tiers. Right now I am level Grand Sultan 2. There are a bunch of levels before that and you have to do specific things to gain a specific number of points right here, where that says 2712, and then it levels you up. I've just recently leveled up, so I thought I would do this video to show you guys how I got here. So my name in the game is there, and that's my ID if you want to add me, and let me show you what else. So right next to it, it says how many million points you have accomplished overall. It's like a little rating, and underneath it is a pet if you want to buy a pet. I don't because boo, I'm not about to spend monies, okay? On the top right row, you have all the offers for buying stuff and VIP. VIP, you can buy points, you can buy items which give you points and you gain VIP privileges. Now, I have VIP level 1 and I am currently on my way to VIP level 2. There is a way to get VIPs without buying stuff, which I'll show you, but it is expensive, but it is time consuming. If you want to buy it, it's not that expensive. It's like 99p to get more points. I don't know about it, boo. I don't know. Then you have benefits, which is pretty much what you get. So if you invite players or you accept invitations, so for instance, you can claim codes if people refer you. You get friendship jewelry if you refer a number of people. And there is a way to get rewards depending on the number of people who follow Game of Sultans game on Facebook. Then you have an option to invite friends, there is a limit to that. Then you have a bunch of other stuff that I don't care about. These are just boosts. Every time you do something within the game, there is a chance you will get a boost, which I'll show you. And it just means a little bit more of whatever it is you're doing, so a little bit more money or power or grains or whatever it is. Now, right underneath that you have Ruins, which is the current event that is about to start. So it will start in 24 hours and you have to register and be within the top 250 people for you to be allowed in. I'm not a big fan of this event. It's a little bit annoying to play. You don't get many rewards. It's confusing and it's just a mess. I'm not a fan of it. Underneath that, you've got cross-server kind of competition, and the person who wins gets this specific character. Obviously, I have not, since I am ranking 483. Underneath that, you have what we call Rush, which is just things that you get ranked on every so often. So every about 48 hours or something, you get ranked based on, for instance, here, Union XP. I'm part of a reunion called Red Dawn, and we are number 11. And then you have Visor Talent. I'm number 75 in my server. Now, if you go underneath that, we have another event which is going on, which is called Dagger's Slider, and you win rewards for that in the bottom right where it says achievements. You get all these rewards if you do specific things. So server-wide rewards, I've combined 6,000 level 5 daggers, so I'll claim that. I've combined 3,000 level 6 daggers, and I'm going to claim that too. I'll show you what I got in a minute. On the bottom left, rankings, that's where you rank. Right now I'm 50. Depending on where you rank, you get specific rewards. So I would get these ones here in this. I'm going to leave it as the top row. My union is number 8, so I would also get these rewards there. If I go back and I show you the game, the daggers, it is pretty much matching and merging. I mean, it's quite fun. It's not too time consuming or anything like that. You get specific goes. So right now I've got energy 66 out of 250, which is pretty good. And on top of that, you've got this top row over here where it says my visor's name. You could choose any visor, and depending on the awards and points you get in the game, you could upgrade your visor's skills. Right now I'm working on my visor's Imperial Academy skill right here. You can choose different skills. You could choose military, research, prestige, or political. In the bottom right, you've got, in the bottom left, you have these rewards which you can win upon merging. If you want to buy the visor gifts, as they call them, you have to spend money, which I won't do. The bottom right, you get a free shuffle every day, and I don't think I've made use of it much because it's not often that you get to that stage where you need a free shuffle within the same 24 hours. Maybe I've used it once or twice. I've just got another reward. Now, if you see underneath that, we've got something called Blessing, which is another event that's going on. There are always lots of events going on, so you will never just be bored and not have anything to do. This event is you collect these lanterns and then you use the lanterns to make matches. So let me show you. Fingers crossed. This is embarrassing that if I get it wrong. So you match. Okay, that didn't match. Right, let's do that. Let's do this and hopefully not embarrass myself on a live stream. So I have 8 attempts left, as it says right here. On the bottom it says chance left 6. So I've got 6 turn attempts left to clear this level. Once you clear it like this, then you get one of those stamps which go towards your constellations. And once you collect a set of constellations, so in the top one I'd need 4 and I'm missing 1, you can then gift it to a wife, what I'm going to call a wife, or a lover. So got a bunch. I've managed to gift about 2 since that started, 3 actually since that started. You can also, for this event, request. Let me show you. Request your friends help you. These are my good friends who we help each other out, or you can request from strangers, which is the hand, like a begging hand, over there. Next to it, you've got achievements, which are the same thing as the dagger one. It's just rewards that you win for doing specific things. Right next to that, you've got requests. So these are your friends who are requesting, and then strangers who are requesting those stamps from you. Most of the time, I don't send anything to strangers unless I see that I have like 6 of them and somebody needs it. Underneath that, you have the main event. This is the checklist that you're going to do for this event. They run every 48 hours. And they're just a bunch of things that you can do to win rewards. So if you increase your power by 1.5 million, I would get those power boosts and those rewards. If I do it by 2 million, I get the one underneath it. As you can see, I've increased power for all the others. I'm just missing those 2. And my ranking is 130 because people increase their power like they ain't playing. The same for a Cure Visor Power in Union Voyage. I've cleared 10 out of 12. And the same for the others. I can do a complete video on these events. They really change. One thing I do say is there's a lot of increased intimacy and increased charm, which I'll explain in a minute, and I'll explain how to make sure you get those right. The same with use badges, and I'll explain those too. Next. That's finished on the right. On the left are just stuff you can buy, so that's $0.99 will get you those. What's on sale? Talents. These are specific characters you can buy if you get specific rewards within the game. So for instance, if I look at the 4, I haven't claimed any of these because I can't afford them, but with the 5 you can get them by getting these little gems at the bottom. When you do events and stuff, you get those little gems, and then I'll show you how to get them. So I've got 4 out of those 5. Underneath it, you'll watch a video and you get those rewards. It's pretty easy. I think you get 5 videos a day, something like that. It's pretty self-explanatory. On the bottom right, where it's kind of shading right now, like glittering, it says 510 Arena Diplomacy. That is the quest that you are on. There are a set of main quests in addition to the events. You can choose to tackle the events, or you can choose to tackle the quests. It's really up to you. This quest is pretty difficult. I've been on it for at least 2 weeks right now. And it is because it's an arena diplomacy. You can only play in the arena 4 times a day. Maybe 5 if you have a specific challenge note that you need, and so this is taking a little bit longer than usual, but it's okay. Underneath that is the chat, and these are just people who are just talking. And on the bottom kind of tab is where you really want to focus if you want to make progress. So you've got social, which is just chats and stuff with people, and then you've got the store, which is where you buy stuff. This is where you buy stuff with gems. You've got where to buy stuff with more gems, or you have dresses where you need to collect cards to buy. These cards are really hard to get, so it might be a while. Next. You've got your backpack. This is what you own. I can go through all these items maybe in a different video, but for this video I'm going to keep it really brief. So you get these badge packs, which you can unlock to get these badge. I wonder where they've gone. These badge. So you can get politics, you can get military, you can get research, you can get so many. Well, there are 4 types, I'll show you. And then you use these to level up the talents of your visors. Your visors are like your advisors, pretty much, in the game. Then you have these special kind of medal shards, which is just broken pieces of something. You want to keep those until you have enough. I'll show you what to do with them. And then you have these bracelets. So for instance, the event, this is a good example. The event that I just showed you wanted you to increase intimacy with your wives. This bracelet increases intimacy by 2 to 5, so I'm going to open that to help me towards my event. Now, I collect these when the event is not increased intimacy. I don't want to use them. For instance, in the event, it didn't say to increase charm, and these little hairpins increase charm, so I won't use them. It's little tricks like that, so definitely make sure you keep those around. These little gold seals are all kind of points, or gold, or grain, or soldiers or something, I don't open them until I collect them a lot, because they're usually like 10% of something, and if that something is low, then you don't really get much. So I'm going to collect those. I've been collecting them for a while. Underneath that, you've got a gold coupon. Let's go ahead and use that. A commander seal. Let's go ahead and use that. That gives you soldiers. By the way, if you want to see how many soldiers you have, look right at the top of the phone where it will say 4 numbers. It will say the first number, which is your gold, far on the left. That's how much money you have. In the middle, it says how much grain, represented by corn. And then right after that, it's got like a helmet, which is your soldiers, and then how many soldiers you have. When you get really, really deep in the game, 112 million soldiers is nothing. I'll show you what to do with the soldiers, and then right next to that, you've got 421 gems. I will say something about Game of Sultans. The gems are not too difficult to get, and so that's definitely a bonus. Right, back to my items. These books you can award to your visors. I'll also show you how to do that, to give them powers and to give them attributes and to make them better. These XP ones give them points for you to even better them even more, their skills. So I like to use the XP one and the skills, which is the ones I've just used now. So skills level up means they are going to be more powerful. Underneath that are a bunch of items which I will show in another video because they will take way too long to go through. Then we have a second tab right under where it says backpack on the top. It says items and then combine. If you go to combine, you've got items that you need to level up your visors. So you need to give them new clothes at level 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, etc. And these are the items you need. You can get these by events, you can get them by winning stuff, etc. But they're not too difficult to get a hold of. And then if you press on other, you have the shards which you need to get higher level items. So for instance, these are the one that is glowing is to get a badge, which we need. And then everything else you don't have enough shards to buy. The shards are what you put together to get you those very special characters that I spoke about, like the 5. And you need 10 shards usually to create one badge, and then you need 10 badges to get the character. Quite long, but definitely worth it. Next, let's go back. Actually, before we go back, let's unlock that badge pack, because part of the event is to use badges right here. So if you have any badges and that event is on, you want to use them. Which brings me to my next tab on the bottom left, visors. Let's have a look at visors. If you tap on visors, these are your advisors in the game. They pretty much look out for you. They are your source of power. They fight your battles. They do everything. They help elevate your wives to higher standards. And then once you have kids, they help make your kids smarter and more powerful. So you really want to look after them. What I've been doing to increase the power of my advisors or visors is I focus on 3. I focus on the top 3, so my favourite ones are Veli, Piali and Kane, but I'm not partial to David. I do like David and Lufty and Merzif over here. I do level them up quite evenly. You can see they're all around 250, except the ones I don't really care about at the bottom. Right now I've just acquired Kelik, am I saying that right? Kelik, who is one of the 5, so I'm on my path to leveling him up. But in order to level him up properly and be able to go past 150, I need those clothes which I don't have. So I'm looking out for that. I'll show you what I mean. So if I choose any of these visors, let's go for Veli. On his tab, you have details about him, which is how powerful he is, what his research and politics and everything is. And then you have the option to level him up on the bottom. I'll show you how. He's currently on level 271. You need 46 million coins to level him up just 1 level. So let's do that. There he is. He's gone off 1 level. If I want to do it again, 47 million. It says that on the bottom left. So let's do that again. let's do it one more time. And I think we've got enough to do it one more time. There you go. So now we're broke. But Veli is at level 275. You can develop him if you've got enough points and XP points. The only way he gets these are if you reward him XP, books, or if you go ahead and help him by taking him on training or taking him on those arena diplomacy quests. One other way you can is if you choose one of those talents. Let's choose political, and you have badges. That's where your badges come in. So I've got 3 political enhanced badges. Top one, I'll use them up. So because it's 100% success rate, it will be successful every time. That's because he only has 1 star on it. If he had the one on top 4 stars, it would be 25% success rate, and most of those badges would be wasted. So be careful on that. If you want to see what that is, leave me a comment. I'll do a video on that. After that, you've got rewards. This is where you can reward your visors to help them improve and gain more skills and level up. Well, not level up, but be better and more powerful. So you can give them, for instance, I just gave him an attribute volume 5000, or you can just tap on this one and give him an attribute tome 1000. It all works. Right now I'm collecting these to give to Kane. Next, I've got my bonus. This is the link with the wives, and I'll explain what I mean by the link with the wives when I get there. Right above bonus, you've got tutor, and this is where he can tutor your kids. You won't unlock this feature until 10 of your visors are at level 250, so it's going to be a while. It's just a way for you to develop your kids once they're old enough, and then help them get more skills and level up as well. Let's go back. So right now I have my visors organized by level. I can also organize them by power, or by talent, or by attributes. As you can see, power-wise, Merzif is in my top 3. I'm trying to get Pial in my top 3, so I've been working on improving that. But I've only recruited him recently, which means that he is still a long way to go. I don't think he's had any arena diplomacy battles. I've just rewarded him all those books to help him with his talent and power and attributes. Now, if I go back let's go back to actually Veli. So Veli is at level 275, and he is my main fighter, which means that whenever I have money, I look to improve him because he's my number 1. Right now, I am also working on bringing Kellic up to the same standard, which is where the purple bar comes in. Once you hit a level limit, so 100 or 150 or 200, you get this little glowing button right next to the purple bar. It says that you need those required items, which are clothes that he needs to level up. Now, I have the first one, which is the Master Visor clothes and the Master Visor ring. But I don't have the Master Visor hat, which means I need to go back to where I was in my backpack, go to combine and look for that Master Visor hat, which I don't have, which means I need to work harder to get those items that I need to combine to make the hat. I'll try and get that during this video. After that, you have achievements, and these are just general achievements you're getting as you go through the game. You don't really need to do anything to achieve them, you just unlock them as you go. And after that, you've got quests. These are your daily quests, and since it's past 8 o'clock, they've just reset. They're pretty easy to complete. So books gifted, I gifted Veli, that was done. Consume enhanced badges, you only need to do that once. We've consumed 3 badges. I'll show you what the rest mean as we go. And as you do that, you unlock these little boxes on the top, chest boxes, which reward you even more stuff. Now, if you complete all of these and get those rewards, you also get what we call VIP points towards getting you to the next VIP level. But it is quite slow, you only get about 10 a day or something. Next, we've completed the entire kind of layout. Now let's have a look at the map. Apparently I've done something under blessing. Okay, I can collect. Oh, thank you. One of my friends just sent me something that I requested, and now we've completed that constellation. I can gift it. Let's choose a wife or a husband in this case. I've just chosen him, and gift. Let's send that to him. Done. Requests. Let's see what friends have requested for. I can return. Let's return to Stuart. Cool. And let's return to. Okay, let's leave the rest for now. Events, we've just increased Empire power by helping our advisors level up. There we go. Next, if we go from the right of the map to the left, I'll explain. You've got Imperial Academy, which you won't unlock until later on in the game, and this is a way to train your advisors. So you've got the main platform, which is filled with my advisors right now. I've got 8 seats. You can buy more seats, I'll show you how. If you press complete all, they are all dismissed. You saw the little glare that said boost on the top, and that's what the boost is. It gives you 15% more of whatever you're doing. So today we got 15% more of those skill rewards. Now, these are the visors that I choose to always send to study to make sure that they always improve. So all I do is I press dispatch all again. Underneath that, you can see 3 seats which are empty, and these are seats which my friends can take at my lesson to improve their visors. I can do the same with my friends, so if I press friend list on the bottom right, it takes me to all my friends and I can attend their classes. Let's go with Nilly. Nilly's got 3 seats and I can take all of them. Let's go. I'm going to choose 3 visors. Currently I am choosing randomly. Let's go with Lufty, and let's do that. And because I have unlocked enough, I can take 1 more seat. So let's do that guy whose name I can't pronounce. Let's go. Now that that's complete and I've taken my seat elsewhere, I'm pretty much done with Academy until they finish their studies. Underneath where it says next to dispatch all, it says learning team. This is the team that you choose to always send when you press dispatch all. I choose to send my 3 most powerful, and 4 of those, the 5 that I've got. Next to that, it says expand. This is a way for you to buy more seats, either for you or for other people to take at your table. It does cost gems, but I mean, it's really worth it to improve your power, so do it. Next, right next to that, we've got the Imperial Council, and the Imperial Council are just visitors from other lands that just bring you gifts. So right now, because I'm past VIP 1, I've got this little, right under the man where it says tap envoy to enable tribute all. I'm able to get all the tributes in one go. If I untap that, you have to get each one individually. They give you gifts in those chests, and sometimes they bring maids for your wives. And those maids bring charm to add to your wives. I'll explain what that means too. Now let's just go ahead and do tribute all. Let's offer those maids to the same wife. Right next to that, you can see the little hand box which is carrying jewels, and those are your dynasty. These are your children. You can send them to far off land to learn and come back to you. This is something you unlock once you have 10 visors at level 250 or above. Before that, it's locked. So let's go and dispatch a couple of these kids. I do always dispatch the same kids because it just gets more expensive as you go, but they can bring back jewels and scrolls. Scrolls are what's used by visors to teach those children in return. Right above that, you've got coalition, and a coalition is like a group. You can apply to join, but we can't because I am not a lead. See, only a union lead can apply. Coalition, I'm not 100% sure what that is. I'm investigating. I'll let you know when I do. Right above that, you've got the frontier, and these are just ways to hunt and get a little bit more coins. So you've got the hunting ground, which unlocks in 12 hours, and then the fortress, which is like a shipwreckage, which unlocks in about 20 hours. You have ranking, which shows you where you are. I didn't take part today, so 442 sounds right. And then we've got redeem, which is where you use the points you gained to redeem any of these things. If you want to see a video on what these things do, let me know. If you want to see on what I suggest you use those points for, let me know. Right next to that, at the bottom, there it says divination. It's like a, what do they call them? It's like a fortune teller, pretty much. It's like a fortune teller, and she usually has a cup, and once you tap on the cup, it tells you what you're going to get. There is the cup. So you tap on the cup and it tells you rewards and gives you jewels. So I am 1 day away from getting those 21 days in a row jewels. Above that is a union. This is a group of people. Let's leave that for now. Oh, that's what I did last time. Oh, I did pretty well. Okay, with my predictions. Okay, let's leave that for now. Your union is like your team. You work together to do specific things like quests. So this quest today asks us to recruit soldiers. You also contribute to the team's power. So usually I contribute 50 or 100 gems. And then that gives you points to buy stuff like this. You also have a union store if you want to contribute money to your union. Next to that, you've got set voyage, which is where your union pretends to be a pirate and goes off getting you jewels from other lands. And you have the union war, which is what you join to combat other unions. So you can predict how well unions are going to do, or you can join. So I'm going to select that Phoenix is going to do better, and then I'm going to go for German, and then I'm going to go for Nemesis. Actually, I should have gone for Atlantis. Should I go here for Atlantis? Okay, that's okay. And then for, oh, that did nothing. Okay, I didn't confirm. Let's do that. So let's go for Phoenix. Let's go for Phoenix, and then let's go for German, gotta be, and then Nemesis. Yes. Cool, that's done. Let's go back. You've got store, which is where if you have points, you can buy them. This is where you can buy magnificent shards to make magnificent badge. I definitely suggest you make use of that whenever you can, and I definitely do. I'll explain the Union War in another video because it is quite long. Right underneath Union, it says campaign, and this is where you go off to fight other lands. Right now I'm at the highest level of this specific map section, which means I have to face the boss guy, which is getting a little bit tedious because he's quite powerful and I need at least 2 days worth of visors to beat him. If you do run out of visors while beating this boss man, your best bet is 1, to come back the next day and try again, or 2, to level up your visors a lot more to give them more power. You can also reselect visors to send them back again, as if like revive them, but it costs something that I don't have. Next. This is also where you spend your, well, technically spend your soldiers. This is where they die. Right above Union, it says Imperial Parliament. This is just good stuff. This is where you deal with affairs, so you tell people yes or no, and you choose from 2 things. So if I choose, well, it says, Your Grace, would you like to recruit fresh graduates from the War Academy instead of war veterans? You could choose yes and get soldiers, or you can choose no and get points, which go towards leveling up yourself from the Grand Sultan 2 to the Grand Sultan 3. I'm going to go with, I always choose the soldiers and the coins, and I always say no to the XP and to the grains. So grains no, coins yes, grains no, yes for soldiers, no, and then yes for grains, no, and that's it. Let's go next. This is where you collect wealth, grain, and soldiers. It's called a levy. You probably when you start, it's probably limited to 4 on your end. But once you level up a little bit more, you unlock more and more. So right now I can levy 13 times in one go before the clock resets. At the bottom I also have a levy all option because I've passed VIP 1, but otherwise you would just have to press levy like this one by one. Let's go for levy all for now. And you also saw the boost, which means I got 15% more of something. Next. Right next to that, you've got what we call the harem. This is pretty much where your wives and children live. So let's go right to left. Marriage, these are where your kids are. You can request to marry somebody or see somebody's requests. You can have a look at your married children. Here they are. They've all left me. Wow, I have a lot of children. Oh my god. And then next to it is single, where you have heirs that need to be married off. I like to marry mine off as soon as possible to get me more power. Yes, you do get more power if your children get married, because it's like you form a coalition with other lands in a way. So you get more power. Right next to that, you've got heir. This is where your children are. This is my daughter Kelly. This is my son Cheryl. This is my daughter Oringo. I'm not naming them, I'm just using whatever they suggest. I stopped naming them when I've run out of friends names. I hit 64 or something, and I was like, okay, I've given up now. I can't go beyond this. And that was including fairy tale names and a bunch of stuff. So these are your children. It tells you then that you can develop them. If you hit develop, they go one kind of level up. You can develop them every so often. You can see the little purple arrow up right above develop, and this will just develop them all in one go. You need to wait for it to reset before you can develop them again, or you need to use a restore vitality orb. I'll show you what that is in a minute. I like to collect these for events when I need to use them, and that way I can just get better rankings on the events. Next. Right next to that, you've got companion titles. This is kind of how... this is the structure of your harem, pretty much. How much do you love those people? So, for instance, I love Blur more than I love Bullet. And I love them more than I love Fiona and Damaso. Or Rana and Silda. And this just is because I've just leveled up their charm more, or I've leveled up their intimacy more. If we have a look, you can't level up these harem members, let's call them consorts as they're called, because until you meet a specific requirement. So right underneath where it says confidant, it says requirements. Intimacy 500, charm 1000, which is why these two meet them. Right underneath that, let's go to honoured attendant. We need to get to noble attendant, you need intimacy 300, which Damaso meets, but you need charm 600, which Damaso doesn't meet. And that's exactly why they're still left behind. I'll explain how to level those up, right? Next. Right next to that, you've got companion hall, and okay, thank you. And this is close. This is where you get your harem members to paint or draw or learn music or something, whatever they want. The way to do that is you enter a room and you kick out someone else that you think is less powerful than you. So that person was more powerful than me, so I've got to leave. And I think I'll be more powerful than Naren, right? Yes. So I've just kicked that person out of this room, and I will be learning for as long as nobody kicks me out. Right underneath that, this gets you what we call pearls, and I'll show you what they are and what they do. Right underneath that, you've got companion, and this is where your harem is. This is everybody in my harem. They've just introduced male characters, and I could swap all the females to males, but I'm just so used to their faces. I've swapped the first three, and then it just kind of got a little bit difficult to tell them apart. So it's okay for now. So these are the companions that I have unlocked. I still have not available ones that I haven't unlocked that I need VIP levels for, or I need to do specific things like badges, or do whatever tasks I have to do for it. So let's have a look at what you need to do. Vigor is pretty much you visiting these wives, and once you press random visit, it chooses somebody and it just visits it. If you're lucky, you get a kid. My kid spaces are all full. I can't take any more children on, so I won't do that. I won't get any, which is what the note at the bottom is. Air seats currently full. No more heirs will be produced. And you get 4 of those for free every, I think. Well, they reset every half an hour. Let's double check. Yeah, they reset every half an hour, and you pretty much can just visit them. So if I tap on below, and you've got, this is his space, I should say. You've got his attributes, how many children he has produced, what his charm is, what his intimacy is, and like a little description that I've never ever read. It's not that important to me. Then you've got 3 options. You've got visit, which you need to pay to visit a specific companion. You've got gift, which is where you give them either items that give them intimacy or charm. So the top 2 give intimacy, the bottom 2 give charm. As you saw, there's an event for intimacy, so let's give them my intimacy ones. And then right next to that, you've got skill. This is how well they are doing. So every single time you visit a consort, they get points. So right now you can see 3 purple circles. You can see helpfulness, constructiveness, and perception. Right underneath that, it says press upgrade button to expedite upgrades. Right next to that, it says companion XP. This is how many points they have because of your visits. My companion, I have upgraded him too much. I definitely need at least 7,000 XP just to meet that requirement, and that's for below. Now, each one of these consorts, well, most of these consorts are linked to somebody in your visors. So that is why at the top of this little page it says Piali. Blur is linked to Piali, my visor. Now, Piali is my 3rd one in power, which explains why these figures are quite high. Underneath Piali's attributes, you can see a little comment that says tap the skill icon of a companion to start ascending, and right next to that you've got the pearls that that we have earned through the consort hall. The pearls are the same for all because that's how much you own. It's not how much each consort owns. They're like a mixture, but you can use the pearls to upgrade 1 star of these things. So you can upgrade self-reliance by 1 star there, or you can upgrade enthusiasm by 1 star. You need 18,000 pearls, and the same for all of these. The XPs level up, and then the pearls increase the stars. We've also got the same for Baylor, Isilda, and everybody else. None of them need anything right now. So if you look at Heather, there's a little ring circle going around on purity. That means that we have enough pearls to increase her purity level to 1 star. I won't do that because I don't really care about her. Her visor is not important to me. I prefer to look at somebody whose visor I care about. So I don't care about Olivia either. Everybody else I know I've upgraded far too much to even have a chance with. Come on, Kane. No, yeah. But you get the drift. If you want to see more on this, let me know in the comments and I'll definitely help you out. Now, if you've run out of vigor, you can restore vigor using these little orbs. I'll go into those a little bit in detail in a minute. Let's go back. Right above Harem, you've got Vanquish, and these are just pretty much kind of little battles that are going on in the background. Every day you get a little bit of rewards, you know, on how well people did or how well your union contributed, stuff like that. It's just a way for you to get stuff. Right next to that, you've got Hall of Fame. These are people who've done really well. You get to kind of give them a gift on the bottom right, which is just roses, and in return, you get a little gift, whatever it might be. Oops. Underneath that, you've got rankings, and you've got two types of rankings: server ranking within your server and cross-server ranking across all the servers. Now, server ranking, it appears that El Diablo is doing the best amongst us. Her power is 4.2 billion, which is amazing. So you can press the little blue button on the bottom right to honor her, and you get 10 gems in return. Then if you look at campaigns, she still did the best, so you can honor her again and get 10 gems. Intimacy, she's still doing the best, so honor her again and get 10 gems. Go back, go to cross-server ranking, honor whoever is top, get 10 gems. Next, and I just got a boost, which means I got 15% more gems, so about a few more gems, I don't know. And then next, the same for intimacy. These are just things you should do every day to help you clear daily quests. I'll show you how well we're doing on daily quests in a second. Right underneath that, you've got what we call the training ground. This is where you get your visors extra power by sending them to challenges. Right now, I am on barracks level 4, which means I have to face this specific villain. You have to get 3 stars to clear the barracks. So let's restructure a little bit and battle. Probably won't. Yeah, my visors are not strong enough to take him on, so I have to go and improve them and come back. You can also change your formation like this. Usually I tend to keep their strongest talent in the section that they need to be. So my foreground is Veli, he's my most powerful. My politics is the person with the best politics, and the same for my research and everything else. Go back, underneath that we've got Masquerade. This is where you pretty much, it's like you're visiting a market and hoping you meet a woman. It sounds so stupid. So if you press Masquerade, it takes you to somebody somewhere, and we just happen to meet a villager, so it's not important. If you press again, who do we meet? Another villager, so it's not important. And then who do we meet again? Another villager, so it's not that important. We've just met somebody who's my wife, so hello. If she wasn't my wife, you keep visiting her and you increase your intimacy, and then you can marry her. Right above where it says recovery, you have your fortune. This is kind of how lucky you are on today. You can increase it by using these amulets, which I'm collecting. So usually anything above 100 is very, very lucky. So I'm at 500. I usually collect those amulets until I have an event that asks for amulets. Now right next to that, you've got the arena. This is where your visors fight to increase their power. So if I press fight, today's fighter is going to be this visor. If I press on the bottom right fight, you can then choose who to fight for with. Let's go with the top left. Confirm. And he has total talent 43, which is more than me, so he'll probably beat me. There we go. You could do that 4 times a day, and it does still help your visors to improve even if you fail. Right where you see this guy here is your fight logs. This is how well you're doing, how many times you lost or were beaten or won. You've also got a revenge list on people who beat you, and then a raid list if you choose to do so. On that right, you've got a ranking of who is doing the best. There's rankings everywhere. Underneath arena, you've got the feast. This is pretty much where people meet up and hold events, and then you can go attend those events. As you can see, Golden Fox has 50 seats at his disposal. 30 of them are full and the rest aren't. On the top, you can choose to host, which I won't. If you attend a feast, you get tokens, and then you can redeem the tokens for something on the top right at the token store. Now, I suggest at the token store, what I do best is I like to keep my tokens, and then I like to use them to buy only one of two things. Either I buy music keys or art keys. These are keys which open up the consort hall for your wives to give lessons instead of take them. That means that they get a lot more pearls to help you upgrade them. Everything else you can just win in the rest of the game, so what's the point? Right now, so I've gone through all the bits of the map, and I've given you a walkthrough with everything. If I look on the bottom left, there is a little red dot on my quests, which means I've cleared a lot of them. Let's go. So, divination, we've visited the fortune teller, done. Levy trade, we have levied trade at least 10 times, done. The same for grain, done. The same for soldiers, done. We've dealt with government affairs when we had to choose either yes or no, done. We have used the Imperial Library, so we have sent off our advisors to study, done. We have honoured everyone that we need to who did really well in last event, done. We have raised our heirs, so we have aged them, done. The same, we have gone to the arena, we have tributed grain, and we have contributed to our union. We have trained today, we have grown our charm, we have been to the academy. What we haven't done is random consort visit 6 times, masquerade 6 times, we've only done them 4 each. We haven't gone on a union voyage because our union is not currently going on a voyage. And then we have not attended or opened a feast. We haven't battled either, so we haven't lost any soldiers. So as you can see, we have pretty much met all the requirements at the top, and we can collect all these chests, which is giving us some VIP points. There we go. It gives you VIP points, but it also gives you points towards leveling up your visor, your character. There we go. So my VIP points have increased by about 10. Next, you can see a red dot above events. So if I press on that, it appears I have met one of the requirements for Go Masquerading. I have gone at least 20 times. So let's tick that off. That is pretty much done. Now, I want to go through some of, let's open these because I hate having them around. Let's go through some of these. Let's do that, always keep them open. Let's go through these orbs and stuff that you can use to restore stuff. So you have the Vigor Orb. This is what you can restore to go visit your wives. Every single one gives you 4 attempts at meeting your wives. I like to collect these until there is an event that specifically asks you to use them, and there it is. So keep that around. The Energy Orb enables you to go on more masquerading journeys. The same thing, every single one Energy Orb allows you to journey 4 times. Then we've got the Vitality Orb. This is what you use to increase your heir's age. Every single one of these will give you about 20 points, which will most of the time age your child by like half a year or something. Very, very silly like that. Underneath that, you've got the Levy Seal. Remember when we levied for grains, coins, and soldiers? This gives you 28, well, I've got 28 of them, so I have the opportunity to levy 28 more times, and I can choose what to levy if I want to. The Imperial Affairs Seal right next to that gives you the option to say yes or no to affairs 107 more times, and I like to collect that too because there is an event which says use those seals, so it's better to have them. I'm going to skip the PvP seal because we need to show that in action to explain it. The amulet gives you 10 fortune per amulet in the masquerading, which means you're more likely to meet wives, and I like to keep that as well for, you guessed it, events. Underneath that, you've got the tribute seal. This means that you get more chests of treasures from your friends over here in the Imperial Council. So if you use that, you get those. Right, these are just shards and bits and pieces. Next to that, you've got the rings that you can use to marry off your heirs. Underneath that, you've got earrings for charm, gold earring for more charm, age ring for intimacy, and then you've got feast food. These are stuff you can use when you open a feast if you want to. Going on further, these are just bits and bobs of clothes that you need to level up your visors. The protection badge you can use once you open up a hall to teach music. So if your console opens up a hall to teach music or anything of the sort, you can use a protection badge to make sure that nobody can kick anyone else off their seat. It tends to make it, I use these if I want just my union members to attend or just my friends to attend. Under that, you've got those suit coupons that I said take so long to get, and the little scrolls are the ones that your children get when they go on their voyages to bring back so that they can give to their teachers, aka advisors, to teach them. The timepiece it extends visors' learning time by 10 minutes, which means they can stay in that academy a little bit longer. The gold chest key is to do with a specific event, the same with the silver one. These are things I didn't use in the event, and so I've got it. The normal coupon is, it helps you to guess. You know when we said in the Union War, in the Union War, it asked me to predict who is going to win. I can use this for higher levels if I predicted right in the lower level ones. Which brings me to Voyage. It appears my union has just set Voyage that I can join. They've set Voyage to red, here we are, to Romany and to Sorsha. So I will join both. I'm going to send my lower levels to the lower level of the Voyage, and then my higher levels to the higher level of the Voyage. Can I send one more? Yes, I can. No, I can't. So I have contributed to my Union Voyage. I can now tick that off my daily quests. There we go. Cool. That pretty much sums up everything that you need to do in Game of Sultans in a very brief walkthrough. If you guys are interested in finding out a lot more about this game, let me know. I will be making a couple more videos to walk you through it. Let me know if you enjoyed this one, hit the like and subscribe, and leave me all your questions. I can help you guys out if I know anything. And don't forget that I do videos on Merge Dragons. It is a great game. I do live streams every Friday and Monday on that. And see you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.